Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, a big thanks to all the subscribers and the folks who have liked my video. This has given me the necessary confidence to continue making the videos, and it gives me a sense of satisfaction that I'm making some kind of difference in people's lives. So thanks a lot for your support. Still, it's very early, so please keep supporting me. So in today's video, we are gonna talk about the coding round in QA interview process. This round is more or less similar to the other coding rounds which happen in SD interviews or QA interviews in other companies. The bar differs for a QA and a SD. The kind of questions might also differ, but the expectations remain same. For example, in a coding round, you might be asked a question as simple as reverse a linked list or reverse a array, right? But there could be multiple approaches to solve that problem. What matters to the interviewer is what is the approach you are taking, and are you able to code it or not. If at any given point of time we were to put that code in production, will it work or not? Forget about the optimizations, that's the next level. But at least for an entry level QAE, what is expected from you is to at least code what you are proposing as the solution. What's important for a QA is to make sure that the P0 test cases or the very straightforward edge cases are covered in that code. Amazon coding round basically has a DS question which you are supposed to code along with providing obviously the logic, and sometimes it also consists of a automation question. So if you would have written in your resume that you have worked on Selenium, or if you have worked on backend APIs, so interviewer might want to evaluate you on those competencies. The questions could be given a hypothetical situation where you have to automate a login on gmail.com, and what would be those bare minimum steps which you do, or what are the most common errors you come across while using Selenium if you have used Selenium, or how would you write a optimized code to test UI of a page, and then what if that automation needs to be expanded across all locales, like would you in different locales the language change, right? So would you keep repeating those scripts, or would you write some optimized code? So there would be questions around automation, and there'll be question around DS. Automation is sometimes optional. Sometimes interviewers just focus on data structures and how you perform there. But sometimes automation is also part of coding round. Sometimes automation might also be clubbed in some other round along with test plan or test strategy. So it completely depends on the hiring manager how they have scheduled your interviews. So now what's the difference between a QA1 and a QA2 interview? So the questions might remain same, but the answers quality should improve. So if for a question you have given a very basic solution for reversing a suppose array, then from a QA2 you are expected to give a much more optimized solution. There we'll talk about the time complexity and space complexity. Your answer should be mature. Your syntactical writing as well as your coding skills should be much more proficient. You should cover a good enough amount of test cases in your code. So the bar of the quality of code which you are writing and the quality of test cases which you are covering through that code, so the bar increases, the questions might still remain same. So that's the major difference between a QA1 and a QA2 coding round. So the questions would still be on DS, the questions would still be on automation, but the quality bar would be different for both of these. Now in terms of how do you prepare for these rounds, I guess there is no specific answer I have for it, because you can go to any coding video out there on web, especially around the data structures, and you can try to follow that. There is no rocket science which I can tell you that how do you crack these interviews. Just practice, practice, and practice. Go to Lead Code or HackerRank, wherever you can go, and then practice questions. Don't do dynamic programming or competitive programming kind of questions. Just focus on the basic data structure questions, and make sure you have good at least hold on your basics of any language which you are aware of, be it Java, Python, any language. So language is not a bar. Whichever language you are comfortable with, just make sure you have a good hold on the concepts of that language and you are able to code. So just practice, and the questions won't be that hard. It's just about if you are able to answer at that particular moment or not, and when asked to optimize, whether you are able to optimize or not. That is something which will stand you out. So in a QA1 round, the expectation is you should be able to code and give the bare minimum logic. But if you are able to optimize on top of that, nothing better than that. Then they'll immediately give you those brownie points and will make you stand out from the other candidates. That is one thing which helps interviewers to shortlist or not shortlist you out of a pool of multiple candidates who are being interviewed for the same role. As I told in my earlier videos, you have to make sure that you do or you give something extra to the interviewer. So if you are able to further optimize your code, or you have given a very solid logic, then obviously that will make you stand out. So that was all for the coding round of Amazon QA1 interview process. There is no specific mantra to crack this round. It's like any other coding round in any other company. Just make sure you practice hard, and you keep your calm. You first understand the question, you ask the right questions to the interviewer, you understand the scope, you know what you are expected to write, you know what is the output of that particular problem, and you code according to that. So just stick to the basics and you should be able to clear the round. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. As always, please subscribe to my channel, and do like the videos. Put your valuable comments. I rigorously go through them and try to improve my videos. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.